So I was on the bus today. Well, I guess yesterday I should say now because it's after midnight. But anyways, I was on the bus yesterday and this lady got on the bus and she had this sign, like apparently she'd been protesting, but she had up this sign basically saying how the pandemic was made up and how it's a hoax and how the government has already planned the second wave of this pandemic, COVID-19, and how it was just made up, and how the pandemic was just made up to hold civilians hostage, and how Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau should step down. You know, like this is, I don't know what the fuck goes through the minds of these fucking right-wing retards that think the pandemic was made up. They're anti-masks. They're anti-vaxxers. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. She was saying, oh, like on the sign it said, don't get vaccinated, how the vaccine is poison, blah, blah, blah. I just don't understand these right-wing retards. Like, you basically think that masks are just being forced upon us to violate our human rights, to take away our freedoms, that COVID-19 is a hoax. And, you know, you're just anti-government and you think the government, you have this perception that the government is just looking to control us and take us over. First of all, have you not watched the fucking news over the last 5 months or so? Basically, like since the end of January, beginning of February, like the first case of COVID-19 was discovered in Canada towards the end of January, I think around January 26th or something like that. And COVID-19 has hit, I think, in excess of 160 countries around the world. So far, it's hit about 16 million people. I can't think of the number off the top of my head of people that have died from it, but it's in the hundreds of thousands. It might even be over 1 million by now. 1 million people have died from it by now. In the U.S. alone, there's close to 5 million Americans that have had COVID-19. Here in Canada, I think the number is around 116,000 that have had COVID-19. And it's somewhere around 9,000 Canadians that have died. Like, do you really think that all these various news networks, CBC, CTV, Global News, CNN, BBC, ABC News of Australia, do you think that all these various media outlets all over the world are just lying and they're just all in cahoots with the government to control the population? Like, use your fucking heads. That's why I fucking hate the conservatives, I hate the Republicans, and I hate their fucking supporters even more. Because they're just a bunch of fucking retards. Everything to you fucking people is a conspiracy theory. Like, I've even heard some stupid Republican supporters in the U.S. saying that they think that COVID-19 was orchestrated by the Democrats, the U.S. Democratic Party, in order to discredit Trump and in order to take attention away from real issues. Like just so the Democrats can so Joe Biden can get elected in November of 2020. The same way some of you stupid fucking right-wing retards went marching on the state legislature in Michigan State, carrying all kinds of fucking guns. Like some of those guns look to be semi-automatic, and who knows, maybe some of them might have been fully automatic guns, to protest all lockdown measures. I don't enjoy being locked down. I didn't fucking enjoy back in March, April, and May how the only businesses in the Canadian province of Ontario that were allowed to open were essential businesses such as supermarkets, restaurants, and drugstores, and other essential businesses. And I hate wearing a mask because I find them fucking uncomfortable, especially around the ears, like the air loops. I find them uncomfortable. And yeah, I hate all the travel restrictions. Like it's negatively affected me this summer. I had plans to travel all over Canada. I've had to scale back most of those plans because of COVID-19. So I fucking hate it too. But the reason why the lockdown and various restrictions have been put in place is to try to get a grip on COVID-19 and try to reduce it. And if everyone wears masks, or everyone who's in good enough health to wear masks, if everyone that's healthy enough to wear a mask does wear a mask, then it will help to reduce the spread of COVID-19. And hopefully one of these days, we will see COVID-19 numbers fall to zero. And you better believe that once the Canadian government has approved a vaccine, like once Health Canada has approved a vaccine, you better believe I'll be one of the first people to get that vaccine. Yeah, Health Canada comes up with vaccines to poison people. Okay. Whatever you fucking right-wing retards say. You guys are such fucking idiots. Like you love talking about high IQ and low IQ people. You people have the IQs of fucking idiots. Like you act like you have single-digit IQs, basically. COVID-19 is very real. All this footage by all these media outlets is not fucking staged. I know according to you fucking clowns, I'm sure you think the fucking moon landing was staged as well too. And you fucking clowns probably think 9/11 was staged as well. But it makes no sense to stage all this shit, number one. And number two, the Canadian government has handed out a lot of money to the tunes of billions of dollars to try to assist Canadians in dealing with COVID-19 and assist Canadian businesses in dealing with COVID-19. Why the fuck would they spend all that fucking money and stage all that footage? What would be the point? I mean, they've given out all that money. Obviously, they're gonna they're going to have to come up with ways of recouping this money through things like tax increases, running deficits for many years, and possibly having to cut back on services as well too. Why would they fabricate this whole thing and spend all this money if it wasn't real? Like, come on, use your fucking heads. I'm sure even you fucking right-wing retards, you must have one or two brains. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm giving you too much fucking credit. So basically my message is fuck all you right-wing retards, and to all the left-wing thinkers that think along the same lines as myself, just keep doing what you're doing, keep wearing your mask, keep sanitizing your hands, keep practicing proper hygiene, and just keep in mind that whatever regulations the government is putting in place, they're for the good of the general populace. We're all in this together. We will all get through this together. One of these days, COVID-19 will become a thing of the past. Let's just do what we can to try and fight this and overcome it. And again, fuck all you right-wing retards.